Hi, and welcome to Tutu's Journey. Well, I have a story to tell you about me meeting some WWE people. But first of all, I like to thank all my new subscribers. I had a goal of 40 and I'm at 39. So you just might be that one person to carry me over the edge. I appreciate you and thank you so much. I'd like to give a shout out to Sylvia and Karika, who were the last two subscribers that I had, my new subscribers. Thank you so very much, ladies. Well, let's get into the story. Now, I used to work at the airport in Richmond, Virginia, and I had a chance and an opportunity to meet some famous people. Now, let's go off of the two that were not WWE, but I have to tell you this. The first person was really, really sweet. They came up to the register, and they was like, hi, how are you doing today? I said, I'm good, I'm good. And they put their order in, and I'm looking, and I go, hey, Ray. And come to find out, that was Ray from Sister Sister, the father from Sister Sister. And he was so sweet and gentle. He was there with his wife. I believe her name was Monica. Yeah, and he was there. They were there to eat lunch. So I met him. He was so nice. And then, boy, did I meet the next one. Yo, 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 in the house, yo, yo, in his house. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm ready to go home. He comes up to the front of the counter. Now, mind you, this line is long. This is the airport now. This line is long. He comes to the front of the line as if he does not have to wait. And he goes, what are kettle chips? I can make kettle chips. I said, you got a kettle? He said, no. I said, well, you can't make kettle chips. I was so upset. I was done. You hear me? And he go, wait a minute. Go around the side of the register. And he starts drinking, pour himself a thing of tea and starts drinking it. Who made this tea? And I said, I did. He was like, oh, you gonna be my personal tea maker. And then the guy said, man, you can't keep making people your personal this and your personal that. Like, yes, I can. And he came on up to the front, skipping everybody in the line. He's right in the front. So now you know I'm giving them the look. Like, if you don't get your hips in the back of the line. So he goes, well, let me see what I want. But before he could get anything out, everybody behind me was coming up bringing. I saw chocolate cake. I saw drinks. I saw food was just coming up to the front. Everybody in the back now was coming up to the front. And I'm like, what are y'all doing? And then they just, they doing it like, here you go, here you go. He was like, oh, okay. I'm like, what in the world? Not the world, the world. Y'all know I make up my own little words from old school. And he says, oh, okay, I want that. All right, we good. I'm like, whew. So he's like, how much do I owe? So I add his little food up and give him a price. He said, all right, here you go. I got that. All right. Then he takes, this is no lie. He takes a wad of money out of his pocket and he pulls it apart and he pushes it down in the little cup that I had for tips. And it falls all out the sides of the cup. And he goes, there you go. There go your tip. Now, I was so upset that did not faze me one bit. I didn't even care that he put the money in my cup. I was just looking at him like this, like, when are you planning on leaving? So he said, all right, I ain't gonna forget you now. Tutu, to Rhonda, right? I ain't gonna forget you. So he walks off and I'm like, yeah, just go ahead. So the line keeps going and, I finally get the line down. And then the people from the back are like, did you know who that was? How much money he give you? I'm like, y'all don't get out of here and stop worrying me about folk, especially people coming up to the front of the line. They're like, no, you don't know who that was. You don't know who that guy was, do you? And I'm like, no, and I really don't care. They're like, Tutu, really? That was Master P. I said, Master P who? They like, Master P. Master P who? They said, that's Lil Romeo's dad. Now, I knew who Lil Romeo was. That's sad, I didn't know who Master P was. But I was like, okay, all right. I do remember Lil Romeo, but okay, look, let's get going. I don't forgot how much money it was that he put inside of that cup. But it was a pretty good amount. And so I appreciate it. Thank you so much, sir. Please get out in front of my line so I can serve the rest of these people. So it didn't dawn on me, Master P. So wait, I got to tell you about, and I hope this thing is not doing a delay. I hope not. Okay, now for my next person, you are not going to believe who he is. Now I'm going to my WWE people. Let me see which one I should tell you first. Okay, I got it. Okay, so while I'm at the register, all these men come walking up to the front of the register, and they're looking at the menu, and they're like, So I'm looking. I'm like, oh my goodness! I know this not Nature Boy in front of me. This is not Ric Flair in front of me. Somebody please hold me right now. I know I ain't looking at Nature Boy. But wait a minute, this the problem now. Wrestlers, I'm thinking, all big. He was the same height as me. We were the same height. And I'm looking him right in his face. And he got all these big, big men standing behind him. And it was Nature Boy Ric Flair himself. Woo! You know how you do when I'm outside. I ain't trying to mess with my neighbors, though. But look, so he says, what's kettle chips? He asked the same thing. What's Virginia barbecue and North Carolina barbecue? Now, he's the little ringleader, the shortest thing in the group now, but he the ringleader. And he's asking all the questions. Now, mind you, they said we weren't allowed to get any autographs. So I'm tempted, but I did not get an autograph. I wanted to do it so bad with his receipt. But I got him all this stuff. Who was around him? They told me it was Triple H. I wasn't good with WWE people at that time. But I had one in particular. Because Ric Flair was real laid back and calm, but he was that flair he give. The same flair he give on television was the same flair he gave to me when he was talking to me, putting his order in. So we look over to the left, and the people are starting to board the planes. And I see this one guy walking like this. Look, y'all, he going. I'm like, what's wrong with him? And my friend walks over. You weren't supposed to get autographs, but she walked over, and I heard her say, "Can I have your autograph?" He goes, I'm busy. Like that. I'm like, man, don't you know you ain't on TV? Ain't no cameras around here for you to be talking to that girl like that. So he turns around and looks at me, and then he said, I'm looking for the A gate. So I said, you busy going the wrong way. Like, is that a way? Like that, right? So he looks at me and goes, and I'm feeling cocky now. I'm like, hey, I got Ric Flair and all of them over here. You can come on, bring it over here now. Don't play. Like that. So they start laughing, Nature Boy and them starts laughing. So he walks on his merry way. I'm like, man, you ain't on TV. Ain't no camera out here. Stop it. So then, y'all, I'm getting nervous. Because all of a sudden, at the airport, you got the windows on the side, and you can see outside to the runway where the airplanes come. What do you think I saw flying from the sky? None other than a picture of The Rock himself. A big picture of his face on the side of a plane, which had to be his private jet. So it comes down. I'm like, oh my God, The Rock is here. Now, mind you, he wasn't allowed to come at the top. He didn't come at the top of the airport where everybody else was to board the planes. They sent him through the bottom, which I knew they would, because I kind of heard from a bird that when the last time they let him come up, it was like all this commotion, people coming around him and gathering, so they didn't do it. So here he comes. They went through the luggage department, which I knew. So I kind of escorted myself over to the luggage department, me and a friend, and got down there, and he was already off the plane, jogging towards the back area where the luggage and stuff was at. I caught a glimpse of him, and I about fainted. And he turned around and smiled, and then I was about to melt all over myself. Oh my gosh, that's a beautiful, beautiful man. But my husband know I love him. He know it. But so then we hurry back around to the front because we weren't supposed to be back there no way. So we hurry around to the front, and guess who I see walk up to the register? Big tall guy. Tell me who it is. Big tall guy. This part was gone in his hair. He had a ponytail right here. Caucasian. Big hands, big body. I just never in my life seen a man that big in my whole entire life. My father's a big man. But this dude, I had to look up like this too. I felt like a little kid. And I looked real good, and I said, hey, is your brother named Jean-Claude Van Damme? And he was like, yes. I was like, oh my God. I said, well, can I have your autograph? No autographs. He was like, sure. I used the receipt off the back of my thing. I don't work at the airport no more, so now it don't matter. But look, And I gave it to him. And he wrote his name on it and the date. And he said he was going to put the date on it and all that so it'd be worth some money one day. So he told me that something about double take. I believe he said that the other person on double take with him in the movie with Jean-Claude was him. And I was like, but they just look like two different sizes, but they look just alike. They really do. And he had this big old ring on his finger, wedding band on his finger. I just ain't never seen nobody hand. Hey, y'all remember in WWE wrestling they used to do the brain claw? That's in my era. You had to be about my age to remember that. But the brain claw, if that man was to put the brain claw on your head, his hand would cover your whole face. That's how big this man's hands was. I ain't never seen it in my life. But look what I got. Look what I got. To this day, this happened in 2002. Look at this. Can you see it? Let me see. Can you see it? It's Rob Van Dam's autograph with the date. Now, this one is kind of stressful. Tough enough, Malvo. I don't know. Y'all, this was so embarrassing. This was so embarrassing. I'm so sorry. But look, I didn't know the wrestler names and I didn't know all of them. So one of the guys came down when they left. Another guy came down and he was like, hey, did you see Ric Flair and them go anywhere? And I was like, yeah, they went that way to gate A. And he was like, looking at me like, okay, it's me. Look, wait a minute. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. Am I supposed to know who you are? And he said, you don't know who I am? And I'm like, I'm sorry, but no. And he's, I don't know who he was. He said his name was Tough Enough Malvo or Malvo. What is it, y'all? I don't know, but I got his autograph, whatever it is. And then he actually put to Taronda. He said it to my name. He said, best wishes always. Malvo, WWE. My husband told me who it was, but look, can you see it? Look. I'm trying to look to see if you can see. I can see a reflection, but I don't see it up here. There you go. There you go, y'all. See? So that was his autograph on the receipt, 2002. But it was so embarrassing. I didn't know who he was or his name. And he was giving me the look like, ta-da, it's me. And I'm like, who are you? You know. But anyway, that is my story about who I met at the airport. That is a part of my journey, a part of a story that I will always tell and be ready to tell my grandchildren and whoever else would like to hear about that story. So thank you so much. That's the end of my story for today. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for allowing me to reach my goal, because I know if you're not already a subscriber that you're going to hit that subscribe button for me and let me get that one subscriber I need to make my 40 goal for the end of this week. Thank you so much. And the next story, I'm wondering if I'm going to talk about, like, finish up the When I Saw Angels and what happened after that fact, or am I going to finish up Stop Whooping Those Kids? So I want you to go and take a look at that and tell me what you think and what is your perspective on giving children spankings. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Much love. See you next time. Bye.